Greetings survivors and friends, it's 2023 and you know what that means. A new horizon of possibilities awaits us with a whole load of new opportunities to complain about things probably. And today I'm going to attempt to bring you back up to speed on what those might be and when, including industrial crafting and goodbye Happis again, along with what was in this week's patch. First of all though, because it's the most exciting thing, I managed to get my hands on the industrial crafting stuff for you early, which is apparently going to go live for all in February's patch, and will be available for testing on the Orcs O2 branch by the time you see this. Hopefully. Because why not add some more pipes to the walls, eh? Just remember that everything I'm showing you is still subject to change. So, with the industrial crafting system, you'll be able to add full automation to your crafting, and it will include a few new items, which are storage adapter, a splitter, a combiner, an industrial conveyor, an industrial crafter, an electric furnace, a pipe tool, and of course, lots of funky pipes. So let's look at those in detail. First, you'll need a storage adapter for each item you want to connect to the system. These can be used to remove and deposit goodies from them and can attach to many deployables in your base, including storage containers, vending machines, drop boxes, tool cupboards, fridges, and furnaces. Splitters and combiners are pretty much exactly what you'd expect. One input and up to 3 outputs, or the other way around depending. Moving on, industrial conveyors are the next component. They require 1 power to work, have an input, pass-through, and a toggle. You'll need these to shift stuff around, and they can also be programmed to allow only certain items to be passed through, along with min and max quantities at a time. Or you can just leave things blank to move all items. So for instance, in this case, once there are at least 100 human skulls available in this chest, it will attempt to pass them through to the next chest. Simple. Electric furnaces are a brand new deployable which, despite the look, have nothing to do with Tier 2 cooking at the moment. Sad face. They offer exactly the same functionality as a small furnace, but require that lovely clean electricity instead of dirty, smoky wooden stuff. Plus, they look rather homely and cozy. And of course, we have a new tool for pipe work, which you sadly can't hit people with no matter how tempting it may be. And please forgive the white glove, I'm not MJ. There are some wee graphical glitches at the moment on Orcs O2. It works exactly the same as the wire and hose tools, and lets you run pipe in 4 different colours. Right. So, to the industrial part of the crafting, and this is the last piece, the industrial crafter. First, you attach it to a workbench, give it some power, it also has a toggle input, hook up the inputs and outputs via conveyors to your containers, insert the blueprint you want to craft on an industrial scale, and turn it on. It'll then chug away until you tell it to stop or it runs out of mats. There's also another input-output pair that will let you automate switching blueprints in and out of the crafter if you want to get particularly crafty. So, I want to automate C4. Now, I already know how to make it manually, but if I want to let the crafter do it automagically, apart from using the correct tier of workbench, I need to give it a fresh BP, which at the moment means forking out another 500 scrap. Ouch! Of course, this is an extreme example, but I think the purpose here is to make this kind of crafting cost you a bit. I don't imagine that people will be using it for crafting C4 though. If they are, then they probably don't need to worry about scrap. Also, whilst you've got said BP in the crafter, it's vulnerable to being yoinked, so there's that to think about too. According to the commits, there's this as well. First pass on a new default industrial blueprint item that can be created cheaply and modified after crafting to point to a different default item, primitive items, DLC items, etc. This blueprint can't be learned by the player, but can be inserted into an industrial crafter to allow crafting of default blueprints. There are a lot of applications for this system beyond just crafting though. You could hook up your furnaces to dump their produce into chests somewhere, or have drop boxes take items and sort them to different places. You could even remotely keep your tool cupboard topped up. Of course, this is all subject to change, as I say, but please let me know what you think to the system as it is, and don't forget that you can test it yourself on the Orcs O2 branch over on staging, as long as you can get on a server running it too, and I'll put the details about how to opt in down below in the description for you, because I'm nice like that. On to some other stuff, and we did just get a patch. January is always a light month for reasons that should be obvious, but the team have still managed to squeak out a few small changes in between their afternoon naps. For instance, you can now steer a modular car with the engine off, letting someone else push you in a more controllable direction. When minicopters and scrap helis die from decay, they won't spawn fireballs. Food plants can now be cloned a bit earlier in their lives, and dropped item containers, apart from fat packs, will take 2 hours to despawn now regardless of their contents. Everything else being worked on is yet future, and most of these you already know about if you've been paying attention. We've got weapon racks coming at some point, pets, a new nuclear missile silo monument along with a ferry terminal for the Nexus system where you'll be able to travel between certain linked servers, but also some new stuff. In optimization, there's multi-threaded networking being worked on which aims to boost server performance, and a lot of work regarding building skins. Looks like at some point, probably in Q2 of this year, there'll be a DLC to let you reskin your bases with such finishes as brick, adobe and shipping container. What a time to be alive. And now to some sad news. Happis Island is being retired again. It just wasn't working out for poor old Happis, it seems, and so in February it'll be gone. Unless you use the community-made version, of course. Talking of which, a new map-making competition will be launching soon, so keep an eye out for that. Please tell me what you think to all this in the comments, and drop a like and a sub to the channel to make me happy. You'll find me on Twitch, Twitter, and lots of other places. Links are in the description. Plus, you can support an old horse with Patreon, YouTube memberships, and via my merch store. I shall catch you all soon. But in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio. What a time to be alive.